G'day, my name's Adam Hills. Welcome to a very specky Christmas, the music quiz show that's putting its feet up in front of an open fire, sipping some warm eggnog and thinking, it's the middle of summer, I probably don't need an open fire or warm eggnog. Tonight we're going to celebrate Christmas and take a look back at the year in music, and we wouldn't dare do it without our two team captains, Alan Bro and Myf Warhurst. Thank you. Welcome. Merry Christmas, Al.
Merry Christmas, Adam.
Merry Christmas, Myf.
Merry Christmas.
How are you feeling? A bit weird up here without guests?
I know.
Oh, no, I like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You like
cool.
a lonely Christmas?
No, not a lonely Christmas. I like the Christmas to be about me.
Dropping round to help Alan celebrate Christmas this year is one of the most popular and successful musicians in Australia today, along with one of the most loved members of the Spicks and Specks family. Come on in, Missy Higgins and Hamish Blake.
Please. I know it's a long way from frankincense and myrrh, but please accept cab sav and biscuits.
Adding to Myf's Christmas cheer tonight is an all-singing, all-dancing star of the Australian stage and a man who has extensively probed Bill Clinton, Jerry Seinfeld and Rod Stewart. It's Rhonda Burchmore and Andrew Denton. You've got wine as well, Myf.
What? Look at it.
Bottle of Chardonnay for the ladies.
It's very special. Look at the little echidna.
Oh, it
Bit
is.
of a muffy, nice.
That's good.
And this is from my own private collection, my own private library. This is a real book called Dictators' Homes. And it's a guide to homes of people like Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, George Bush, all these people.
And can I just say, you two walking out together,
Yeah.
it was like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman all over.
I'm going to leap all over your set in a minute.
And ringing out the Christmas tidings tonight, making their second appearance on Spicks and Specks, is the Adam Simmons Toy Band. So welcome, Merry Christmas, everyone. Missy, we've got to say we're very lucky to have you on the show. For a number of reasons. You must be incredibly busy at the moment, after a huge year, but also you're touring Australia with Tim Rogers.
I am.
And, you know, there's a whole story about him knocking you out backstage a few years ago.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to remember because I was knocked out and therefore it's a bit of a black period for me. But apparently, no, he came towards me and he kind of embraced me in a very loving way, picked me up off the ground and somehow tripped over a tent peg and fell on top of me and I smashed my head and I was kind of out cold for about 30 seconds. And I woke up and didn't have a clue where I was. Like, I did not recognise my band, anyone around me. They were all complete strangers. And I was in Tasmania for the Falls Festival and every 30 seconds they were telling me I was in Tasmania. I was like, Tasmania! What? I couldn't comprehend that I was on this island at the bottom of the continent and, yeah, it was everything.
I don't think they can either sometimes.
It's funny because when I kind of woke up and I slowly was regaining my memory, it's like it hit that part of my head that was my inhibitions, and I totally lost them. And I was hugging everybody, I was jumping up and down, like getting everyone into, you know. Woo!
I hate to say it, but it sounds like a cheap alternative to booze on New Year's Eve.
If we could hire, how much would he charge, like, for a night where he'd just come around their house and knock everyone out for a bit?
Yeah. Hey, every hour you get a bit of a top-up.
People in emergency rooms, this guy's been rogered.
There it is.
Another way to end Christmas.
All right, our first game tonight is called Know Your Product. Each team gets to pick a topic that everybody will be quizzed on. Now, as I said earlier, as well as celebrating Christmas tonight, we're going to take a look back at 2007. So your topics are in the news, at the awards, in the charts, and on the stage. Myf can pick the first topic tonight.
Well, I've got one of the queens of the stage beside me, Andrew.
Thank you.
Rhonda. I reckon we've got to go with on the stage.
Fair enough. Al?
In the news.
Done.
Yeah, easy. No reason, just like it.
All right, we'll start with on the stage. Everyone on your buzzers? Let's play A Very Specky Christmas. Your first question for 1 point. Elton John is currently touring Australia. Of these 3 songs from his current set list, which was not a #1 hit? Don't Go Breaking My Heart, Crocodile Rock, or I'm Still Standing? Yes?
I'm still standing.
That is indeed the one we're looking for. Now, your second question for 2 points. In 2007, the Australian Ballet and Opera Australia both performed shows with the word Don in the title. What were they? Yes.
Don Quixote would be one of them.
Is Don is good?
Yes.
There was the Salami, the musical, the ballet, and then...
Don Giovanni.
Well done, that's another one.
2 points.
Yes. Yeah, just because I didn't really think there'd be a ballet about Don Bradman yet, but obviously that's the next step.
Can I just show you what's on my card? If we got that on. It says, I bet $10 Hamish says Don Burke or Don Bradman. Predictable. The hit Australian film Priscilla, Queen of the Desert was turned into a successful stage show this year. Listen to these 3 songs from the musical and name each of them. Oh, yes.
Boogie Wonderland.
Yes.
I've been to Paradise.
Yes.
But I've never been to Maine.
Yes.
And the last one was I had
Don't leave me this way.
Oh, of course it is.
Yes, that's it. Bang on the money. Now, Hamish, while we're talking on the stage,
Yep.
as a child,
Yes.
you performed in a lot of musicals, in a lot of Christmas pageants.
I did some really good work in some kinder pageants.
Let's not explain them. Let's
really?
show. Do you remember this?
I had quite a progressive kinder. We did Brokeback Mountain.
I'm just checking now. Have you changed your clothes? Since 1983? Stand up,
Still have the wooden horse. Yeah, look, very faithful steed. I chipped his leg, so I had to shoot him.
When you put a wooden horse down, is it with a nail gun?
On to in the news. Your first question for 1 point. Which group reformed this year, releasing the single Headlines, Friendship Never Ends? Yes.
Spice Girls.
It was the Spice Girls. Yes, excellent work.
No, you're all over that.
It's kind of bittersweet, isn't it? To come on this show and go, I got one right. It was the Spice Girls.
Well, they're not really girls anymore, let's face it.
No,
This-
no.
Yeah.
In fact, have a look at that photo. I mean, that's embarrassing, isn't it?
I'm waiting for the song, If You Want to Be Menopausal.
The Spice Girls made their first stage appearance in years this year when they performed at a Victoria's Secret fashion show. And if you're wondering what Victoria's Secret is, it's that she can't sing.
Oh, get him.
Next question for 2 points. Have a listen to the song Jigsaw Falling Into Place by Radiohead. Name 2 things, the album and what it cost. Yes.
That was free.
In Rainbows. In Rainbows,
In Rainbows
was the album, and it cost whatever you wanted to pay.
Oh, that's right.
Online.
Yes,
When they released it, right? Online.
Which, according to most people, was free.
67%, I think, of people went, oh, love Radiohead. Not to the extent where I give you money, thank you.
I never thought I'd say this on this show, Alan, but yeah, listen to Hamish.
Well, switch seats.
Finally, with 3 points, have a look at these newsworthy photos from 2007. Identify the person in each shot. Myf.
Well, clearly that's Britney in 3 different wigs, isn't it?
Are they dentists? Is that...
Yeah, that's
That looks like Craig McLaughlin. It does. That looks like one of the guys from Duran Duran, and that one looks like Pete Doherty.
Is that Owen
at
Wilson in the
court.
middle? Pretty doughy.
No, not in the middle. Oh, that's what's his name? Phil Spector in the middle. That looks like
He
a
was
Phil
news-
Spector
and he
wig.
was
doesn't
newsworthy, of
They're all Phil
Yes.
Spector.
They could be.
Myf,
I know a good wig. I know a good wig.
Myf, you're completely correct. Phil Spector.
I spent so much time looking at his wigs this year.
Yeah, no, that's...
They were the most, it's a horrible case, but my God, his hair was entertaining.
I don't want to cut across your Christmas special, but it seems to me that Myf's Phil Spector answer was so good, unlikely to be topped tonight. So shouldn't we finish the show here?
We would, but we've got a commitment to the ABC to fill the remaining 45 minutes.
They can do ads for the ABC shop.
Feels to me like somebody's got enough rope special that could be slotted in. Should Spicks and Specks run a bit early tonight?
Yeah, well, it's
What's
People
that?
I Made Weep special.
It goes for 6 hours.
Yes.
How do you feel when you're interviewing someone and they start crying?
Oh, it's weird. You never expect it, no matter how many times I poke them in the eye. It's, but as you know, if you're in a conversation with a friend and they start crying, it's a bit uncomfortable. And people think that we try to do it, but no, you don't. However, I'm not apologetic because we talk about things that that mean a lot to people, which is often a lot more interesting than asking about the merchandise. Although, you know, some product is so bad, people would cry about that too.
So, for instance, if I threw you the challenge, could you make Rhonda cry within about 5 minutes?
No, but give me 7.
We need the special raw onion chair from the Enough
That's
Rope
right.
set.
Yeah. No, look, I think I probably could, yeah. Do you mind if I try? Okay.
Make her cry.
Hi, Rhonda, I'm Daryl Summers. I want you to appear with me for the rest of my life.
Oh, I think everyone's going to start crying.
Right, at the end of the first round, the scores are Alan, Missy, Hamish on 5 points, Myf, Rhonda and Andrew out in front, 7 points. In this round, teams have to buzz in and identify the tune being performed live in the studio. Tonight, the songs will have some relevance to 2007 and will be performed by the Adam Simmons Toy Band with bells on.
Start with the head. Certain shoots are very romantic.
I think Alan's team just got in there first. What was the song?
There's a Mika song, Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly by Mika. Well played. Which went number 1 in the UK and number 2 in Australia this year. Next song, please. It was just Alan's side again.
Straight Lines by Silverchair.
Straight Lines by Silverchair. Silverchair, of course, won the Arias for Best Single, Album and Group of 2007. Next song, please. Oh, yes.
It's Roxanne.
It's Roxanne by The Police. Yes. The Police, of course, reformed for a world tour this year. There was a hint at the beginning. Can you guys just show what the hint was?
Roxanne.
That's nice.
We need to pay get more attention.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's so nice to see a Christmas song about a prostitute for a change. I think that's great.
Rudolph the Red Light Ranger.
Final song, please, from the band. Yes. Yep, you got it. Stop.
Oh, no, hang on. Give me half an hour drink. To the top, don't get to the bottom of nothing.
Oh my God, I can't.
Better stop. Give a little giving and love.
Learn a little bit. And can I just say, I've never seen a man with a more serious look on his face while playing a rubber chook in my life. Another round of applause, of course, for the Adam Simmons Toy Bag. At the end of that round, the scores are dead set even. Alan, Missy, Hamish on 8 points. Myf, Rhonda, Andrew also 8 points. Each team will be given 3 artists and 3 interesting facts. You have to match the artist to the fact. Tonight, you have to match the musicians to their worst Christmas moments. Alan, Missy and Hamish. Your stars dropping around for Christmas drinks are Cool Cat and main man of the Dave Graney Show, Dave Graney, director of the Choir of Hard Knocks, Jonathan Welch, and ARIA-nominated songstress, Jade Macrae. Welcome all. Now, we have surveyed these people to find out what their worst Christmas moments are. In no particular order, they are shoulder pads falling out during a live performance, hitting an emu whilst on tour, and inadvertently giving a partner's elderly father a VIP membership to a strip club. Which of those musicians matches those worst Christmas moments?
I reckon Dave's got the strip club one, for sure.
Would that be inadvertent, though?
Yeah. It would be verted, I
There
think.
you go.
I think that the shoulder pads is out of Dave and Jonathan.
Really?
Santa, well, either way, Santa is loving what's going on in that picture. He's really into that.
He's got really weird eyes.
Meanwhile, Frosty, the snowman down the end, quite happy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Living it and loving it.
Quite happy. You almost need 2 carrots for Frosty.
My instinct is Jonathan with the shoulder pads.
Yep.
Dave hitting the emu.
Yeah. In your defence, Dave, I reckon the emu probably was getting a bit lippy. Or I reckon
And
just...
hang on, what's the other one?
So I reckon
And
it's
then
Dave with the
Jonathan's
emu,
shoulder
Jonathan
pads.
with the shoulder pads.
I don't know, but shoulder pads are they trendy?
Are they?
I hope so.
Oh, have you got augmentation?
I've had a shoulder lift. My nipples are here.
And everything else has been pulled up as well. That's why you have to wear high-waisted pants.
So what are you going to go with, Al, as team captain?
Jonathan, could
For
you give
fun.
the emu one to Dave?
Oh,
And
I
Jade.
reckon Jade's got to be the shoulder pad.
Do you reckon?
Well, so what? Guys wear shoulder pads, and is that a shoulder pad there? Is it?
I think it might be, actually. Oh, yeah, it's a
Really?
bit padded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys wear in their
we-
suits.
And it's just Jonathan's done a
I
lot,
was
you
thinking
know.
it was only an option for the lady, but...
Oh, no, your gentleman enjoys a shoulder pad. And for sport, and for after 5.
It makes their waist look smaller, doesn't it? It makes your waist look smaller.
Oh, yeah, they've got a million uses. Yeah, pirates, put your parrot up there. Like,
Exactly. If you've got sensitive shoulders, you put a shoulder pad on so the parrot isn't constantly digging in.
Missy.
When the cannons are going off, because as soon as the cannon goes off, it goes.
I want you there. I want you to be scared.
Yeah, look, we fully endorse that.
All right,
though it
let's-
doesn't reflect our views.
Let's find out. Dave, would you like to tell us your worst Christmas moment, please?
Well, I was powering through the night, a musician of much artistic purity, I could only afford a rusted 73 steel chariot. Christmas Eve, a night which many musicians die, I took out an emu on the way.
I love the thought that somebody from overseas has just turned the show on and I heard a whole audience go, he killed an emu.
I was just thinking that, and I went,
What
yeah.
kind of barbaric nation is
I
this?
reckon for people at home that got stitched up in that whole ostrich investment scheme going, good, about time. One of them got it.
I was wearing an ostrich skin jacket.
Jonathan, would you like to tell us your worst Christmas moment, please?
Well, I first joined Opera Australia. My agent, Raymond Myers, decided to sit me down, and he was also quite vertically challenged. And he said, Jonathan, now, you know, we need to do everything we possibly can to make the illusion that you're actually much taller than you are. So I want you to go and buy some boots with heels, and to make yourself look a bit broader, try getting yourself some shoulder pads. So I came out and did the first concert, which was a Christmas concert, and nobody had told me to actually stitch them into my jacket. So when I actually took the bow, they fell on the ground. And they looked like bra cups.
So, Jade, clearly we know what you did. We'd like to know how.
I'd, for various reasons, bought a friend of mine a VIP membership to a certain strip club in Sydney. And it was a part of a long-running joke. And, yeah, I thought it was a great present.
Well
but anyway.
And, you know,
So-
your friendship with Kevin Rudd stays in the school.
I was really happy to keep that quiet. I'm prone to being very, very late with all my Christmas wrapping and shopping, etc., etc. So it was probably about 6 a.m. on Christmas Day that I'd somehow mixed up the card between my friend and my boyfriend at the time's father, who was quite old. And we ended up going to my parents' house first, and then later in the day went to their family home. So, of course, they'd already opened all of their presents, and it was just ours that they opened specially in front of everybody. And we hadn't been together for all that long, and I see him open the card, and I'm thinking, God, he's acting very strange, you know, what's going on? And he said, oh, what's this? Anyway, you can imagine the embarrassment that ensued, but for some reason, you know, he always really liked me after that day.
I love that thing at Christmas when you get something you really don't want and probably don't even like, and the less you want it, the higher your voice goes. Oh, I got one of those, thank you so much!
Would you please thank Dave Graney, Jonathan Welch and Jade Macrae. Now, while we're talking embarrassing Christmases with relatives, Missy, I happen to know a story about you and your grandmother and some cake.
Yeah. Oh, golly. I made a special kind of cake for Christmas because family Christmases can usually be a little bit dull. And
So did it have lots of... was it quite spicy?
let's just put it that way.
Some herbs in
Some
there.
herbs,
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
The green
not
kind.
From a Christmas tree, but something that looks similar. Is that what we're talking?
Similar, yeah.
Kind of Christmas tree you grow with UV lights in your bathtub?
I'm scared to ask what the icing was made out of.
So you gave this to your grandma?
Yeah, we kind of... the rest of my family was in on it because my mum and dad are a little bit cheeky too. And we thought, we'll give it to her. We won't tell her. We'll just see how she goes. And we kind of pushed it out. And we watched her. She thought, oh, she's English. So, oh, this is delicious. And we kind of just watched her get increasingly giggly for the rest of the night. And we ended up telling her halfway through the piece of cake, and she was totally fine with it.
Weren't you
Discovered
alarmed
an
when she
adventurous
started
side.
eating the Christmas tree? Did that not tell you wrong?
Yeah.
Myf, Rhonda and Andrew, your stars are Australian Idol superstar Damien Leith, opera super lady Antoinette Halloran, and fan of the supermarket, Dave O'Neill. Damien, you've got the shiniest mohawk ever.
And are you saying that I'm a musician? Are you
Yes,
calling
Dave,
us
you were in the seminal 80s band Captain Coco.
But both these guys run the Opera House, is that right?
Yeah.
The highlight of my career was supporting Geisha at a roller skating rink.
Now, Myf, Rhonda, Andrew, once again you have to match the musician to their worst Christmas moment, which are asking for a book by the Dalai Lama and receiving instead the Kama Sutra, being given spam for Christmas dinner in Ireland,
Yum yum.
and breaking a toilet in half whilst vomiting on a boat on Christmas Day.
Why immediately people are thinking of me, aren't they? They're not thinking Kama Sutra. No one's undressing me.
Damien, you know, because he's Irish, I mean, it's too obvious that he should be having the scam or the spam.
Yeah. You see, the toilet being broken by a vomit, that's good Aussie chunder there. That's, so I'm leaning toward... I am leaning towards Dave. I think he's the only man with the necessary physique.
You're forgetting I'm an opera singer.
Yeah, that's true.
Ladies do occasionally get their hair held back.
That's right. Continue with that.
I think that's an interesting point, that Antoinette, as an opera singer, would have the power
to shatter.
Give us a bit of an impression.
I think we need to move the bowl to Antoinette.
Yes.
I'm fairly happy with that selection there.
Can I digress and tell a story I heard about, to do with toilets and overseas, an Australian couple in Spain and staying at this cheap hostel, and he did an unfeasibly large poo. And he went to flush it and it wouldn't flush, and he didn't know what to do. His girlfriend said, go and speak to the woman at the front desk and explain what's happened. So he went down, he didn't speak Spanish, she didn't speak English, so he's trying to explain, nothing's working, so he says, indicates to come upstairs, brings her upstairs, points to the toilet elaborately, presses the button, and it just flushes away. So she's just thinking, they're very proud of their poos.
Until that night when he gets a knock at the door and she's there going...
Rotten downmanship. Sorry, yes. Now, where were we?
I'm happy with that. I'm not convinced about Antoinette, but...
No, and I'm worried about Damien, but for all sorts of reasons. So...
Should we leave it or let's
lock it in?
Lock it in.
Yeah.
Lock it in? All right. Damien, can you tell us your worst Christmas moment, please?
I am the toilet.
Goo-goo-goo-joo.
I tell you, it was 2 years ago, and myself and a couple of friends went out for beer all night. And as you do in those circumstances, you get up the next morning and go deep sea fishing. As you do, everybody's done it. And we were about an hour out at sea, and I suddenly felt like my stomach was a bit sick, you know. So I rushed off to the little toilet, sat down. I was like, oh, gee. And while I was sitting there, the waves were kind of tossing me left and right, and suddenly I felt like I needed to puke as well. So I kind of got up. I was doing the hover, over back.
We've all been there.
And then a wave hit us, and I was thrown forward, smashed my head off the toilet bowl, and cracked it in half.
Oh, wow.
And I walked down and I said, Jesus, something wrong with your toilet. It's terrible. So that is my story. I destroyed a toilet.
I cut my toe off on a toilet.
What?
I did truly.
Chopped it off entirely.
Truly, look, if you took this off, I'll show you the scar. I was at college and I was doing a rehearsal in the toilet. That's it. And I whipped my leg around and smashed into the toilet. Look, see where that scar? Look, cut my toe off on the toilet.
Rhonda, can I just ask, what were you rehearsing in the toilet?
You know when you just, because there's no room and you're about to go on stage and you're with your friend and you just have to, we were doing,
well, with your friend.
Cocaine, we were doing.
This was the Logies, wasn't it?
We were dancing to the music, do, cocaine. And me and Diana and I were in the toilet and I whipped my leg around and went right through the bowl and cut the toe off.
Let this be a lesson to kids at home.
That's right.
Don't use toilets.
No. That's right.
Antoinette, originally you had the toilet, you were given the toilet,
I
so
had
to
the
speak.
toilet, but I'd had a tough year, and I needed some healing. So I asked my boyfriend if he'd buy me The Pursuit of Happiness by the Dalai Lama. And he went to the bookshop and, being the glorious young tenor that he is, got confused and bought me the Kama Sutra, but at least I managed to find my third eye.
So, Dave, can you bring this back to a family show, please?
Yes. If my son's watching, go to bed. So we're in this hotel room in Spain, and I'd done this massive... No. We were in Dublin on Christmas Day. It was about 14 years ago. Me and my girlfriend backpacking around in Dublin. Gee, Christmas Day closes down, doesn't it, Damien? It's like Adelaide on a Sunday. It's just after a nuclear blast. There was nothing open, so we ended up having Christmas lunch in Isaac's hostel. It was a mixture of backpackers and homeless people, and they served us up a roast spam dinner. And then a TV crew turned up, and a reporter stood there going, "And here they are, the homeless of Ireland." It was an Italian reporter. It was really weird.
So you did get that one right, at least.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you, David.
Would you please thank Damien Leith, Antoinette Halloran and Dave O'Neill. Now, Rhonda, I understand you also have a worst Christmas gig that you did.
Oh, well, I love Christmas as a time for, for me to come out in my frocks and I do a lot of caroling and all over Australia. And one year, I think we were up in Townsville, and you know how Santa, his arrival is very, very special to the kids, and they'd gone all out this year and put Santa on a cherry picker so that he, just from above, that he comes out. And they'd given Santa a bag of lollies. And all the kids, the warm-up people are getting them all excited, all the little tiny tots in the front. And Santa started throwing the lollies, but they were actually boiled lollies. And these poor little kids were just crying and sobbing as Santa was pelting at great velocity these lollies. And all the little teary, so there was a lot of teary little kids there for Santa's arrival.
And did the kids then have to sit on Santa's lap afterwards? Was it a moment of going, come and
Some of them wanted their eyesight back for Christmas.
All right, at the end of that round, the scores are Myf, Rhonda, Andrew on 9 points, Alan, Missy, Hamish just out in front, 11 points. Round 4 tonight is called Mondegreens. I'm going to read out a misheard lyric from a Christmas tune. You have to buzz in and tell me the song that the correct lyric is from. Here's your first misheard lyric. My tulip sent to me. Yes.
My true love.
12 days of Christmas?
Yeah.
Yes, the 12 days of Christmas. It should be my true love sent to me.
My tulip.
Next misheard lyric. Jeff's nuts roasting on an open fire.
It's actually called, the right name is The Christmas Song, but it's chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yes, you're completely correct. Well done.
It was a Christmas the Kennets would rather.
Yeah. Yes.
Next one, misheard lyric. Later on we'll perspire. Yes?
Burn it walking in a winter wonderland.
Yes, it is, as we drink by the fire.
You're good.
While shepherds wash their... Yes. As opposed to...
Watch their flocks asleep.
By night, while shepherds wash
the misheard lyric was while shepherds washed their socks at night. The correct lyric while shepherds watched their flocks by night, and it's while shepherds watch. So yes, you got that right. Well played.
Very good.
Holy imbecile, tender and mild.
Oh, Silent Night.
Holy
yes.
infant, so tender and mild.
Yes, well played. Silent Night indeed.
I know somebody that used to think Round John Virgin was Round John Virgin.
Round John Virgin.
Big jolly John Virgin.
I don't know why you can't get anything. He's such a nice guy.
Next one. One horse, soap and hay.
Jingle bells on a one-horse
open sleigh.
Rhonda is all over this game.
You have done a lot of caroling.
Too many. It's tragic, isn't it?
She only works 1 month of the year, but she works.
You'll go down in Listerine.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, yes. Find the lyric. Oh, atom bomb, oh, atom bomb.
Oh, Tannenbaum.
Oh, Tannenbaum, oh, Tannenbaum is the correct lyric from Oh, Tannenbaum. Well played, Al. Last one to you.
We hit the score back.
Right at the end of that round, let's do a score check. Myf, Rhonda, Andrew, 13 points. Alan, Missy, Hamish, still out in front, 15 points. Now, Christmas is a time for catching up with friends, and this year a whole bunch of musicians have gathered together in the one place to recover from 2007. So we're going to pay them a visit and deliver some Christmas presents to them. The place they have all chosen to gather this year is the Keith Richards Retreat for the Tired and Emotional. Oh. Let's have a look and see who's in there, shall we? Now, our first performer having a well-earned rest is the monster of rock Meatloaf, who walked off stage in Newcastle, England this year saying, quote, "This is the last show I may ever do in my life." Second impatient is Baywatch star and German music god David Hasselhoff, who made the news this year when a video of him drunkenly trying to eat a pizza was leaked to the media by his own daughter. Also recuperating is actor and part-time beach boy John Stamos, who was jet-lagged on Australian television earlier this year after popping about 40 jet lags in one hit. Singer and actress Lindsay Lohan, who shot to fame in the film Herbie Fully Loaded and then spent most of this year being Lindsay Massively Loaded. And finally, Amy Winehouse for singing They Tried to Make Me Go to Rehab, then showing us why they tried to make her go to rehab. Now, in order to get the presents into the guests, we need to get the presents to us. And the only person to do that is Santa! Hey, Santa! How are you? How's your year been? Very busy for you?
Oh, it's good. It's been a fabulous year for me.
Excellent. Well done bringing Kevin Rudd what he asked for Christmas. That was nice work.
Yes, it was hard. It was a difficult battle. What was harder was getting Shorik and Angry Anderson into those elf suits. That was
Now, Myf, Rhonda and Andrew, you'll be throwing first. Would you like to make your way up to the throwing platform, please, ladies and gentlemen? Myf, Rhonda and Andrew. Come forward, come forward, come forward.
Are we all on the same platform?
Yes.
Oh, Rhonda and I aren't really dressed for sport.
Well, look at these in the high heel.
No,
Will you take them off?
I don't look short in this shop, do I?
No, just stand next to me.
Thanks, Myf.
Now, it'll be 1 point for each present that you get through, OK? Aim at the faces. If a present gets through, you get a point. However, the retreat, the Keith Richards Retreat for the Tired and Emotional, don't want the presents getting through, so they have hired an orderly to try and stop them.
Right.
And your orderly tonight is Frank Woodley.
Well, I feel like it's like a pilot of a gelati plane. There's kids down there.
Come as far forward as you need to, no further forward than me. Your time starts now. Oh, I've seen one go through. Lindsay Lohan seems to be getting most of it at the moment.
You know what we should do?
Wait, one of you distract Frank. Yes, there's another one through.
We're on it now.
Yeah, Mick.
This is from Kerry Ann.
Forget the celebrities, throw them at Frank.
That is really hard.
Oh, jeez. Oh, and your time is up. That was some superb effort.
I didn't get one. Come on, Andrew. Oh, bugger. Come on, Johnny. Come on, Mummy will take you back. Thank you so much.
Come on, kids. There we go. Andrew's had a big day, everyone.
Come on, darling.
Santa, what was the score?
9.
No! And a round of applause for Frank Woodley. Right, Alan, Missy and Hamish, would you like to make your way down to the throwing area, please? Round of applause for Alan, Missy and Hamish.
Feeling good?
Now, for you guys, the retreat has hired a different orderly to try and stop the presents getting through. Would you please welcome Brian Mannix?
I'm feeling sort of Richard Gere, sexy officer and a gentleman from the top up, and Shane Warne chunky from the waist down. But it's all good.
You could actually fit through that door, couldn't you?
Adam, can I just point out that I reckon 90% of them are going to go to the top ones? just quietly.
Thanks, Frank. What's that? Oh, yeah.
That's not going to work.
Well, no, it worked for me, Hamish.
Everyone grab a few presents, come on forward.
You definitely want to do this, Frank.
I'm starting to lose confidence, to be honest.
Your time has started. There it is. Just get one in. Come on. There's one through. Oh, look, you know, it's only fair that I start helping at this point as well. Jeez.
No, that's not working.
Hey. Oh, no. Oh, time's up. Time's up.
Bad effort.
You may be surprised to know that's not how we thought that would end up. How many did they get through, Santa?
7, unfortunately.
Seven, still pretty damn good.
Oh, well. It doesn't hardly seem fair.
Which means at the end of that round, the scores are dead set even. Alan, Missy, Hamish on 22 points. Myf, Rhonda, Andrew also 22 points. Can we have a round of applause for Santa? The sixth round of Christmas is a slightly different version of Substitute. Now, usually, one member of each team has to sing well-known songs using the lyrics of an unrelated piece of text, while their teammates try to work out what the songs are. Tonight, we've assembled 2 choirs for you. Singing for Alan, Missy and Hamish, would you please welcome Richard Gill, Ali McGregor, Claire Moore, Rebecca Barnard, and led by choir master Peter Hellier.
You can do it all.
And singing for Myf, Rhonda and Andrew, please welcome Angie Hart, Scott Edgar, Brian Canham and Ross Wilson, led by Denise Scott. Tonight, each choir will be drawing their lyrics from the highlights and lowlights of 2007. We'll start with Pete's choir. You'll be singing first for Alan, Missy and Hamish. Pete, which text would you like to use first?
Yes, Adam. I would like to... the text we're reading from is from the Sydney Water Restrictions Regulations, OK? So it should... it's quite spiritual when you hear it like this. You ready, guys? Yeah. Good luck, everyone. A 1, 2, 3.
Handheld hosing of lawns and gardens, and drip irrigation's now allowed. It's now allowed. Only on Wednesdays and on Sundays before 10 and after 4. No other watering systems or sprinklers are to be used at any time. No hosing of hard surfaces, and that includes vehicles at all times.
Well, guys. I am so proud of these guys. I found these guys today and they were a mess. And I got them together. It's like Cool Bloody Runnings. That's what it's like right now.
Alan, Missy, Hamish, what was the song?
It's got to be a White Christmas.
Just White Christmas. And I really could only tell by Pete's conducting. I mean, the song was all over.
And I was giving you guys a little something special at the back too. Great.
was White Christmas, the Irving Berlin Bing Crosby classic. Denise.
Yes, Adam.
Your choir will be singing for Myf, Rhonda and Andrew.
That's correct, Adam.
Which text would you like to use?
Well, Adam, tonight we will be singing from the Citizenship Test. Okay, 1, 2...
All our members of Parliament chosen. What's the floral emblem of Australia? In Australia, everyone's free to practice the religion of their choice, true or false.
Myf, Rhonda, Andrew, what was that song?
Last Christmas.
It was Last Christmas by Wham! Which text would you like to use for your second song?
The next text, Adam, is from Kevin 07's apology speech after going to a strip joint. Okay. Jade Macrae. Okay, here we go.
I've never tried to present myself as Captain Perfect, Captain Morality or anything like that. I know never have been, we all make mistakes, and I've made one here.
Yes.
Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle Bell Rock, well spotted. Denise, which topic would you like to use? Which highlight of 2007?
Oh, this is the text of all the seats that have changed hands in the election.
Best Fenelon, Blair Barnum, Brad and Corangamite, Dawson, Deacon Dobell, Eden Monaro, Ford Hasluck, Herbert Kingston, Swan, Leichhardt, Lindsay, Longman, Macon, Swan, Morton Page, Parramatta, Swan, Petrie, Robertson, Wakefield, Swan.
Happy Christmas War is over.
It's Happy Christmas War is over by John Lennon, yes, indeed. And let's just celebrate the fact we live in a country where a man could admit to being too drunk to remember what happened in a strip club and then be voted Prime Minister. Pete, your final song for Alan, Missy and Hamish. Which lyric would you like to use?
We are going to... This is the text from the last chapter of the Harry Potter book. So if you got it for Christmas, you should have read it already, to be honest. No, there's no spoilers in this little piece, OK? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Still hidden beneath the invisibility cloak, Harry was buffered into the entrance hall. He was searching for Voldemort. 2, 3, 4, and saw him across the room, firing spells from his wand as he backed into the great hall, so screaming instructions to his followers. A gunshot rang out, and Harry went down. The last face he saw was Tony Soprano, who whacked him so he'd take over Hogwarts.
Yes.
Yeah, good question, actually. Winter Wonderland?
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Or? Good answer.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Myf, Rhonda and Andrew, here is your last song.
This text is the Kyle Sandilands. You'll be familiar with this, Mr. Denton. The Kyle Sandilands interview on Andrew Denton's show.
Antico, were sitting opposite me, slapping their legs, loving it all and lapping it up.
Inside, you know, it doesn't hurt. I don't really know Dave, and now I just hate him. Him and I will cross paths. I'm happy to kick us. Unfortunately, the bad street kid still comes out sometimes. And I used to be a fan of Dave, but now I will punch him in the throat. When I see him next, it's as simple as that. Punch him in the throat. The street kid in me still comes out sometimes. In the throat. The street kid in me still comes out some. Punch him in the throat. The street kid in me still comes out sometimes. In the throat. The street kid in me still comes out sometimes.
Andrew?
That's Do They Know He's a Dickhead After All? Do They Know It's Christmas?
It's Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid. Well played. And can we have a round of applause for both our choirs and choir masters? And in the tightest Christmas show we've ever had after that round, Alan, Missy, Hamish are on 25 points. Myf, Rhonda, Andrew also on 25 points. It's time for the final countdown. Teams, hands on your buzzers. 1 point for a correct answer, 1 point off for a wrong answer. The scores are even. Your questions start now. In the song 12 Days of Christmas, what did my true love give to... Yes?
Bad start. Partridge in a pear tree?
I was going for the second day, which was 2 turtle doves, I'm afraid.
I've got to say, Missy, you took a bullet for me there, because I did press that.
For which Judy Garland musical was the song Have Yourself... Yes?
Have yourself
a merry little Christmas. The wonderful Mrs.
Don't look at me, I have no
I
idea.
love Judy and I sing it every Christmas, but I don't know what
You know what it is?
Sorry,
It's Meet Me in St. Louis.
Oh!
Earning her critical acclaim this year, which iconic musician did Cate Blanchett portray? Yes, this side?
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan in the film I'm Not There. Six White Boomers was a holiday song. Yes?
Six White Boomers.
Yep.
Was a holiday song written, and it would be Who It's By.
Yeah, it's about basketball, obviously. And it was before, not the American team.
Rolf Harris. Thank you, Alan. It was Rolf Harris. That was the answer I was looking for. Which famous Italian opera singer died in September this year?
Pavarotti.
Luciano Pavarotti.
It was Pavarotti. Well played. And your final question. How many pallbearers carried his coffin? Yes?
There was probably about 10. 8, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot more.
12. I'm going to say 12.
It was actually 11.
Oh.
Which means at the end of a very specky Christmas, the scores are Myf, Rhonda, Andrew ended up on 24 points. Alan, Missy, Hamish won the day with 26. Would you please thank all our guests for tonight? Missy Higgins, Hamish Blake, Rhonda Burchmore and Andrew Denton. Let's hear it also for the Adam Simmons Toy Band. And for all the guests that chose to celebrate Christmas with us this year, and would you please wish a very Merry Christmas to our 2 team captains, Alan Bro and Myf Warhurst. All that's left is to wish you all the best for the holiday season and let you know that we will be back on air in 2008 with Series 4 of Spicks and Specks. Now, every year in Australia, we sit around and sing a whole bunch of Christmas carols about snowmen, sleigh bells and chestnuts roasting on open fires, all of which seem a little out of place in the Australian climate. So tonight, we'd like to leave you with a more appropriate version of a classic carol. Thanks for watching A Very Specky Christmas. My name's Adam Hills. Good night, Australia.
city's glistening. Cracking a beer, we're glad to be here. Christmas is a summer wonderland. Come around, bring your closet, spray for some Mozzie.